it's really Ezekiel 38 and 39. The prophecy in Ezekiel, some 2,500 years ago, was that in the last days, Israel would return as a nation. That happened on May 14th, 1948. That they would have control of Jerusalem. That happened in the Six-Day War in 1967, June. Now, once Israel was back in the land, there would be an attack on Israel once they were back in the land. Actually, Ezekiel chapter 37, you could take your Bible and you could write the word fulfilled on it because it has been fulfilled. Again, Israel returning to the land. No other nation in the history of mankind has ever returned to their land. Oh, and by the way, it's their land. It does not belong to the Palestinians. The land belongs to the Jew. And that's an Arab telling you that. Now, before I get shot, let's move on. Ezekiel 38 lists an alliance of nations that will come together and attack Israel. At the forefront of this attack are two nations, specifically Russia and Iran. Now, last week, it's no secret again that Russia invaded Georgia, will probably take control of Georgia. Absent a miracle for Georgia, they don't stand a fighting chance. I found this article interesting because really this is just the beginning. The Associated Press, in their analysis, had this question: after Georgia, what next for U.S. and Russia? There is blame to go around as the United States assesses the disastrous consequences of the war in Georgia. This crisis mushroomed far beyond what Bush or other Western leaders imagined. The president has tried to contain it while striking the right balance of condemnation, coercion, and concern. Have you noticed, even for those of you who have been watching the Olympics, the relationship between our president and Vladimir Putin? Oh, I thought he wasn't the president of Russia anymore. Oh, yes, he is. He's the most powerful man in Russia. Oh, but didn't they elect a new president? Oh, yeah, he's just a puppet on the strings of the hands of one Vladimir Putin. Now, why would Russia need to bother with Georgia? I believe if you look at a map, it's because of the strategic position that Georgia has geographically for Russia militarily in their planned attack against Israel. They need control of Georgia in order to do what Ezekiel 38 says they will do. If you look at a bigger picture, Ezekiel 38 comes into sharper focus with all the nations that are in close proximity that will form this alliance. See, they need Georgia in order to ally with Iran. Turkey is listed, Togarma, in the Ezekiel 38 alliance of nations. And by the way, Turkey is Muslim. As of 1979, Iran became a Muslim republic. And so Georgia is key strategically, militarily for Russia to attack Israel, exactly as Ezekiel 38 prophesies for us in our Bibles. Joel Rosenberg, who I love very much and respect so much, on his web blog, has some sobering lessons that he lists from this Georgia disaster, as he calls it. The first of which is that Putin is a new Russian czar who wants to rebuild the Russian Empire and will use force to get his way. Ezekiel the prophet told us that this would happen. The second one, neither the U.S. nor NATO are willing to be firm in Europe in defending a key ally against violent aggression. No one wants a war with Russia. But we have to do better than this. Such impotence in the face of Russian imperialism bodes ill for Ukraine, Poland. By the way, if you haven't been watching the news, Russia now has their sights on Poland as well. And all you have to do is look at a map, and it brings, again, Ezekiel 38 into sharper focus. You'll see the other nations that are now going to be on Russia's radar. They've made their move. They've made their move. And depending on who is the next president of the United States, we will perhaps allow him to make whatever move he wants to make, which again, Ezekiel 38 describes. The Ukraine, Poland, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and other Western allies increasingly being intimidated by the Kremlin. The nation of Russia is an extreme threat to the world, as is their alliance with none other than Iran. The third one is based on events this week. Israel should be wary about accepting American or European security guarantees in any future peace deal with her neighbors. Number 4, a Russian attack on a democratic ally can happen fast and almost without warning. That reads like the pages of the scriptures, that when Jesus comes to rapture his church before the 7-year tribulation, it will come without warning. It'll come as a thief in the night. So this has prophetic implications when you think about the prophecies of Ezekiel 38 and 39 and a last days war by Russia, Iran, and a Mideast alliance against Israel. You might remember from a previous prophecy update a couple of months ago how that Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, is now chummy with Putin, who went and visited him and allied with him. And did you know that Libya is included in Ezekiel 38? Listen, these Bibles that you brought with you to church today, they apply to today. They tell us what it will be like today because we are living today in the last of days. The last one, Russia and Iran want to control the production and flow oil and natural gas in the Caucasus, and both want to dominate energy supplies in Turkey, which is why I believe, even geographically, if you look at the map, in order for Turkey to be involved, they have to have Georgia. And it looks like they will get Georgia. It looks like it's a foregone conclusion. Okay. Here's the question, I guess, if you wanted to ask it. Will Israel just sit by and wait for them to be attacked? Or will they launch a preemptive strike against Iran and their nuclear facilities before they come and attack them? And if so, when? Well, it'll be between November 24th and December 6th when Calvary Chapel Kaneohe is in Israel. Hey, listen, for those of you who aren't going with us to Israel, just watch your news. And we'll wave to you from the front lines. Hi, Mom. Hi, church. Wish you were here. Actually, there might be some truth to this. Not that Israel will be attacked, but that Israel may attack. John Bolton, who is the former United States ambassador, says and predicts that Israel will attack Iran before the new U.S. president is sworn in. He believes it will be after the November presidential election and before the successor is sworn in, which puts it somewhere again about the time we're there to about, of course, January. Now, let me say this. I believe that the rapture of the church could happen at any moment. However, I am going to occupy until he comes. Make plans, have plans, don't let those plans have you. Hold on loosely to your plans. Be as ready for his return for you as you would be if it were today, as if it were another 10 years from